Good morning. Our prelude is Be Ours a Religion. Be ours a religion which like sunshine goes everywhere. Its temple all space, its shrine the good heart, its cradle truth, its ritual works of love.
Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Hamilton. My name is Kathy Brown and I'm your service leader this morning. Our call to worship is written by David Pohl. We come to this time and place to rediscover the wondrous gift of free religious community, to renew our faith in the holiness, goodness, and beauty of life, to reaffirm the way of the open mind and full heart, to rekindle the flame of memory and hope, and to reclaim the vision of an earth made fair with all her people one.
Please repeat with me our chalice lighting words. May this flame be our light of friendship and love.
Number 358, Rank by Rank, Again We Stand. Rank by rank, again we stand, from the four winds gathered hither, loud the hallowed walls demand, whence we come and how and whither, from their stillness breaking clear, echoes wake to warn or cheer, higher truth from saint and seer, call to us assembled here. Though the path be hard and long, still we strive in expectation. Join we now their ageless song, one with them in aspiration, one in name, in honor, one. Guard we well the crown they won, what they dreamed be ours to do. Hold their hopes and seal them true.
Thank you, Rachel. It is always a happy day as a congregation when we get the privilege to welcome new people into membership. And today we have 7 individuals who are joining us who have decided that they are Unitarian Universalists. They see themselves as part of our community and our congregation, and they have asked to have their names on our rolls as members. They include, and I'll invite you to look through your gallery and see if you can find their faces today, Paul Pels. He's a lover of outdoors and nature, the environment, music, and dance, and he's been an activist for many, many years. Sounds like a Unitarian. He loves Unicamp. That even makes him more of a Unitarian. He's looking forward to future services, and he works for free expression and animal rights. He's a photographer, and he's a performer. And you'll enjoy getting to know Paul when we have the chance to be back in the building and seeing one another face to face. Our next person is one of the newer members of our board. Her name is Belinda Nimmo. Belinda has worked for the same company for 39 years in IT. Her parents live in Muskoka. She has a stepbrother. She likes mini putt and the drive-in, CNN, game shows, and antiques. She says she never wanted to join a church before the Unitarian Church, and we're pleased to bring her with us along as a member today. She lives in Stony Creek with her partner, and on the board she's serving as our secretary. Jean Jacobs is the third person this morning we're welcoming into membership. She's an avid native plant gardener, a social worker with elders and stroke victims and caregivers. The connection that she has with nature, she says, feeds her soul, and her friends are her family of choice. So welcome to Jean Jacobs as a part of our congregation. Our next individual is Joan McNeil. And if you've met Joan, you know that she cares about social justice and human rights. She's occasionally even impatient with people who don't see life the way she does, but she's working on her patience. Aren't we all, Joan? Aren't we all? She's a longtime researcher and translator, and she's a writer of poems and short stories. Pierre Giroux is born and raised in Western Quebec and studied at Laval and Carleton University. He studied at something that also has a French name, but you all know how good my French is, so I'm going to let him tell you about that further education when we're back together. He retired in 2000 from a career in social work, and he's been married to Dale for 38 years. He's a father of two and a stepfather of two. They recently moved from Grimsby to Ancaster, and they came to the Hamilton congregation in August of 2019. The next person is his partner, Dale Shipley, a former member of the First Unitarian Church of Ottawa, where both children were raised and were married. Dale retired from Ryerson University in 2007 after a career as a teacher and professor and senior manager, and has found our Hamilton congregation to be a warm and genuine and welcoming place for her and her partner, Pierre. So welcome to you both as members of our congregation. I'm so glad you found us here in Hamilton. And last but not least this morning, we welcome Valerie Leonage. She's a retired teacher of art and English and a first immigration immigrant, having lived in the UK until the age of 24. She retired a few years back and now does her own art and teaches art at the YWCA Active Living Center. She has two adult daughters, and she wants us to know that she doesn't drive, but she lives in Dundas. So any of you Dundas members, get a hold of Valerie, because she'd like to share a ride if it's possible. As I said, it always makes me very happy to welcome people into our congregation, and I am delighted that these 7 people, again, have found us, have spent time with us in fellowship, and have decided that we are their religious home. So let's welcome them with our words of ritual this morning. All of you will stay on mute, but if you are a member of this congregation, please say with me the words of affirmation. To you who are now joining our church as new members, we extend a warm welcome and our blessing. May the journey we take together nurture and enrich our lives through our bonds of fellowship and love. And now all of us together, including our new members, as members of the First Unitarian Church of Hamilton, we respect the honest search for truth and meaning in all persons and all religions. We strive to accept differences as opportunities for growth in our life as a community of faith. We celebrate and honor our common purpose with a shared commitment to enhance the quality of life for all. With those words, we honor our new members and welcome them. If you haven't already been asked to provide service to the church and stepped forward as Belinda has to be on the board, just know that, one of these days that's coming your way, and we'll welcome you to be involved. Thanks for joining us. And now it's time for our story today. Our words for contemplation this morning come from Kenneth Patton. I invite you to relax and become comfortable and to take a deep breath, because after the reading, we'll take a few minutes just to be heart and mind and body and soul as one. And then we will engage in some chanting together. This reading is called This House. This house is for the ingathering of nature and human nature. It is a house of friendships, a haven in trouble, an open room for the encouragement of our struggle. It is a house of freedom, guarding the dignity and worth of every person. It offers a platform for the free voice, for declaring, both in times of security and danger, the full and undivided conflict of opinion. It is a house of truth-seeking, where scientists can encourage devotion to their quest, where mystics can abide in a community of searchers. It is a house of art, adorning its celebrations with melodies and handiwork. It is a house of prophecy, outrunning times past and times present in visions of growth and progress. This house is a cradle for our dreams, the workshop of our common endeavor.
I behold you, beautiful one. I behold you, child of the earth and sun. Let my love wash over you. Let my love wash over you. I behold you, beautiful one. I behold you, child of the earth and sun. Let my love wash over you. Let my love wash over you. I behold you, beautiful one. I behold you, child of the earth and sun. Let my love wash over you. Let my love wash over you.
Thank you, Cindy. That was so beautiful. Pick such lovely things. So, today's burning question: how do you know you're a Unitarian Universalist? And no, that's not the beginning of a joke. It's a real question. You see, for most of us, the answer is not because my whole family is Unitarian Universalist, or because my parents were Unitarian. Unitarian Universalism is largely, like 90%, a faith of people who came to us as newcomers to the denomination, having grown up in another faith tradition or with no particular church affiliation whatsoever. This faith of ours is not usually a generational heritage. This is a religious path most of us have chosen, not inherited. So, does the act of choosing make us UUs? Is there a milestone number of years in a congregation that marks one as a true believer? Is it when you've served on a committee or a team or the board, cleaned up after coffee hour? I don't know that I really have a definitive answer. Somehow, when you know you're a Unitarian Universalist, you just know. Some people seem to get it right away. They may research the denomination, they show up for a Sunday service or a class or an event, and they feel as if they've finally come home to the faith community that they've always yearned for. And some people take longer. They have to get to know people, ask questions, find out the facts, read books, participate for months or years, and then in good time, they decide they're ready to sign the membership book and call themselves Unitarian Universalist. I won't name names, but I will tell you that the person I know who became and decided to become a Unitarian Universalist waited 62 years from the time he first attended a service until he signed the membership book. It just takes some people longer. That's all there is to it. Either and any of those paths is the right path. There is no checklist of thresholds or milestones one must pass to become a UU. If you go to the website beliefnet.com, there's a quiz to help you find out what religion you might be. And you might be Unitarian Universalist. If so, answer the questions and see what comes up. I usually come up Quaker or Unitarian. It depends on the day, I guess. Now, many of you have heard me share one of my favorite sayings. If you were accused of being a Unitarian Universalist, would there be enough evidence to convict you? I don't even remember where I first heard that, but it's a great way to measure one has taken the plunge, so to speak, into UU. And you know, that phrase actually has historical significance too, since some of our ancestors in the 1500s unfortunately passed the test, only to be burned at the stake for heresy. I'm proud and happy to say that luckily most of us modern UUs do not face that fate, at least yet, and we hope never. But after contemplating this question about what makes us UU for many years, I've come to the conclusion that there are three essential elements to claiming and developing our UU identity. The first of those is about knowing our heritage, knowing the history of our two branches, Unitarianism and Universalism, seeking out the stories that have survived the ages about people who risked their lives for our faith, for their beliefs, and they modeled for us a creedless religion, learning about the struggles and the triumphs of our path through history as a faith of shared values instead of a shared doctrine. It is about embracing our liberal Christian roots and opening our hearts and minds to the many ways we explore whatever we call the mystery, the divine, the holy, the sacred. Number two is about culture. And that's about the ways that we work together as Unitarian Universalists to create a unique and specific culture within our congregations and within our denomination. Sometimes that culture works to attract people to us. As I said, about 90% of us are people who are come-outers. We've come out of another faith and into Unitarian Universalism, and there must have been something about the culture that appealed to us. Now, sometimes that culture also works, unfortunately, to alienate people from us. I've joked with Carl, if you ever go to a General Assembly or you go to the Canada's All Canada meeting and conference and you look around, sometimes I've often joked with Carl that we look like more colorful people, Amish who are more colorful. We just wear a lot of bright colors and batik and tie-dye, but there's a look. That culture includes our principles and our sources. It includes our ways of governing ourselves, our theology, and our fundamental convictions. It's about how we do things when we are together. Some of those things we may not even be so consciously aware of because we've done it like that way for a long time. But it is in our expressed way we affirm our shared values, and then we work to bring them into being within our church family and also within our communities and within the larger world. And the third leg of that stool of understanding ourselves as Unitarian Universalists is about our lived experience. Now, if you go to a Unitarian Universalist church, you have experienced one Unitarian Universalist church. Each of our congregations has its own unique flavor and atmosphere, and each individual creates their own lived experience of our faith. For any of you who have visited other churches or other denominations, say Catholic or Jewish, you'll know that their experience there is much the same as you would find in others. There's a script for Mass, there's a script for the service. And they're followed in all churches, and they're interchangeable in many ways, but UU congregations are very unique. Some of us are deeply spiritual. Some of us are committed to social justice. Some love to serve, some love to mentor, some are outspoken, Some prefer to work behind the scenes. And it's all good. And it's all in the service of developing as a person and to be the best we can. The former president of the American UU Association, William Scholes, has said, "For so many years, religion has acted as an agent of fear and division. Unitarian Universalism strives to create and live in a world beyond nationalism, bigotry, materialism, greed, hate, and want. UU seeks to heal a fractured world and broken lives, calling each of us to be the best in us. Our wide and generous faith asks us to a deeper mercy, a global citizenship, a generous spirit, and a loyalty and kindness to our kindred all over the world in the interconnected web of all existence. We are here to honor and explore life's mysteries, and we aspire to be the best we can be." Exploring life's mysteries. We help ourselves and our kids learn through religious exploration. We're getting back on track with activities and things in this time of COVID, and this week we have an opportunity to explore, to listen and reflect as a part of our ongoing faith and life journey through our commitment to learn more so that we understand more about life. You'll receive an email on Tuesday that will provide a link for a class that is happening the next 3 Tuesday evenings at 7 o'clock. It's a part of a 3-part series on living in a world with COVID. It's developed and presented by Mary Scott and Al Sharp. I encourage you to join in watching. And again, you'll find a link in your email on Tuesday. It's also on the church website if you want to look it up. We grow as Unitarian Universalists by continuing to work on our 4th principle, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We read, we question, we talk to others, we take classes, we listen, we take action, and then we reflect on our actions. We gather up what we learn and we compare it to what we believe, and we make changes as we go and come to new awarenesses. We integrate new behaviors and we change our minds. As Maya Angelou has said, when we know better, we do better. To me, that's Unitarian Universalism right there in a nutshell. Blessed be.
Number 123, Spirit of Life. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Our benediction this Sunday is by Theodore Parker. Be ours a religion which, like sunshine, goes everywhere. Its temple, all space, its shrine, the good heart, its creed, all truth, its ritual, works of love, its profession of faith, divine living.
morning. Who knows what tomorrow brings? In a world where few things survive, all I know is the way I feel, and if it's real, I'm gonna keep it alive. But the road may seem so long, and there seem mountains in our way, but we climb a step every day. Love lift us up where we belong, where the eagles fly on a mountain high. Love lift us up where we belong, far from the world we know, where the clear winds blow. Some hang on to what used to be, live their lives looking behind. All we have is the here and now, all our life right here to find. But the road may seem so long, and there seem mountains in our way, but we climb a step every day. Love lift us up where